Hi everyone, Dr. Sarah Griffin of Western New York Spinal Solutions, back with part 4 of our 5-part series on how stress can affect our body and what we can do for it. We are going to focus on lower core and pelvic positioning in this video. So this is more for the people who feel lower back pain, who find that the longer they stand, the more low back pain they have, or even they find that the more activity they do, they don't feel that they're as stable as they'd like to be. And there's a couple key things we're going to focus on. So I'm going to play with the camera a little bit because I am not a YouTube expert. My dog Willow will be making an appearance in the background, but we're going to hope she's going to behave. But I'm going to try and tip the camera down so you can see what I'm doing down on the floor here. Okay. So actually, before I even get to the floor, let's look at our bodies from the side. So the lumbar spine should have this nice kind of curve to it. What we don't want is this hyper accentuated curve, which means that our lower core is not activating and we're really loading up the backside of the spine here. So what I teach patients first is what's called a pelvic tilt exercise. So if we think of our pelvis as a bowl, and when it's tilted forward and we're in that hyperlordotic situation, your bowl is spilling on the floor. So we really want to pull that back and tuck your tail under for a couple reasons. And you don't have to walk around like this all day, but for a couple reasons. We're engaging lower core, we're getting a little squeeze on the glutes, and we're decreasing the stress on the lower back. So I stand and adjust people all day, but I find that as I stand longer and longer throughout the day, I'm locking my knees out, I'm starting to get that tilt. So then what I do is I get a couple of these pelvic tilts in, hold for 3 to 5 seconds every time I do them, and it makes a big difference. So what you would do, and I'll turn to the side so you can see it, is if this is the hyper accentuated position, and use your hands as a guide to start, what you would do is you would tuck your butt under and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. So you should feel a tightening through here. You might even feel a tightening through here, and then relax. And then you would do it again. Tuck and hold for 3 to 5 seconds. You don't want to live there forever. You want to open that up. It's a nice little stretch you can do. Then the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to tilt this down a little bit, try and show you on the floor here, is to accentuate that. If we are lying down on the ground, let's see, dog's a little bit in the way. We're lying down on the ground because of the curve of your lumbar spine. Naturally, there's going to be a little lift off, but if knees are bent, we're going to take time and we're going to do that same thing. So without our hands to guide us, because you can't put a hand behind your back, essentially what you're thinking is you're going to push your back into the ground. Okay, so it's like the precursor to a glute bridge, and then relax. You're going to push, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, and then relax. Okay, then the next step, and this is called a dead bug exercise, would be to lift the arms and legs to about dead bug position, stiff arms and legs. But again, don't let your back lift off the ground. You're going to push into the ground, holding nice core engaged position. So you could come punch me in the stomach right now, and you could also come try and put your hand underneath my low back, but you can't because I'm pushing down. So from here, if you can hold this pretty easily, the next step would be to extend the leg out and bring it back up. Switch to the other side and bring it back up. I'm running into the wall so that you can see me, but you get the idea. If you can do that pretty easily, you're going to extend, say, right leg out, left arm out. That contralateral position, it's just like crawling. Your brain needs contralateral activity to stabilize the nervous system, okay? But this also activates what's called your multifidi. So the deep stabilizers of the spine. Unlike planking, which planking is great for core stability, but dead bugs in particular, when you press the back into the ground, you get that pelvic tilt to start, and then you start doing that contralateral activity, it gets those small rotators of the spine to activate and stabilize. And this is huge for lower back pain. These are one of the first basic exercises I give my disc patients, but in different progressions. So some people just have to start with the standing exercise. Then some people can go to the floor. Then some people can go to arms and legs up and push into the floor. Then you can do the legs. Then you can do the legs and the arm. There's a million ways to modify this. So that's my most basic one that I hand out all the time, and one that I would recommend you try. And drop a comment below if you want to say where you're at and set up a time where we can talk about how to progress you. I have great resources available, both with myself, as well as with some great physical therapists and personal trainers if you need more one on one time. But try those out. Let me know what you think, and I will see you for our fifth and final installment shortly.